What's going on, everybody? This is Carl bringing you guys a Paleozoic deck profile today. Paleo's just got an extra Totally Awesome back off the ban list, and so without further ado, I'm going to give you guys my post September ban list Paleozoic deck profile. Starting off, of course, you got to run your standard frog engine, the 3 swap frogs, 3 dupe, and your 2 Ronin totems. I believe that, you know, this has been proven to be the correct amount of frogs to run in the deck, and I think it still is correct. Running it, I wouldn't have it any other way. And so that is our frog engine. We do run 2 barrier statues of the torrent in the deck. This stops your opponents from special summoning. You can cheese out wins very easily by doing this. You put a Toadally Awesome to back this up, and then have your trap line up. It's really easy to just you know, cheese it out at that point. So we do run 2 of these guys. That's it for our monster lineup. Next, we run 1 copy of Scapegoats and 1 copy of Cards of Demise. We only run 2 spells in the deck. We have a real low spell count in this deck because this is a Paleozoic deck. It's a trap deck. So the reason that we run both of them, this is for resources, and this is essentially to have link fodder on the board. And so those are the only 2 spells that we run in the deck. Their purposes are straightforward. Next up is the trap lineup. For our Paleozoics, we run 3 Canadia. The Canadia is the Book of Moon, and so we like the Canadia in this deck. It's one of the better ones, and so I play it at 3 because I like its effect, as well as the fact that it's a Paleozoic and I wanted to be able to come back from the graveyard. And so the fact that I like to be able to put my opponent's monsters face down is why I play it at 3. For back row removal, we play 3 Oleanodes. I like it to be able to get rid of any kind of back row interruption that I don't like, field spells, as well as any other back row. I don't want to have a hard time removing it because I want to be the back row deck. I don't want to have to worry about my opponent's back row. So I play 3 of these. We play 2 Dino Mischiefs. The reason I play it at 2 is because I don't like discarding. I don't like giving up hand advantage. However, the effect is really good, and so I do play it at 2 because the effect is so good. Being able to banish opponent's card is worth playing it, so I definitely have it at 2. And it's also another Paleozoic name, so it comes back whenever I activate a trap. We play 2 Paleozoic Morella, and the reason that we play the Morella is because we want to be able to get our Paleozoics to the graveyard to start up the engine to going. And so once we use this card to basically dump, we have our Paleozoic set up, so now going forward we can continue to every time we activate a trap, we can continue to bring a Paleozoic back and make those Toadally Awesomes that we have now. We also play 2 Dimensional Barrier. I was previously running Anti-Spell Fragrance in the deck, and I thought that, you know, with everything that's going on in the current format with so many synchros, Borolo, Savage all over the place, and the whole Needle Fiber combo engine, Dimensional Barrier was just too good to not run it against the current meta. So we replaced that. I was even thinking about putting it up to 3 because, you know, it's just a meta call right now. But I definitely agree that you play at least 2 of these in the deck right now, and it should help you to be able to fight against some of what's going on with the whole, you know, synchro, 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 fusion, fusion, fusion. We play 2 Lost Winds in this deck. For monster effect negation, we play the 2 Lost Winds as well as the 2 impermanences. I like the Lost Winds because of its recurability. To be able to bring back the Lost Wind and play it a second time is really good. Of course, you get the hand version of being able to do infinite impermanence on turn 1. Like if your opponent goes first, you get that hand trap and be able to kind of play against that. But just being able to recur that Lost Wind is why we play it. After turn 1, infinite impermanence is essentially the same thing as Lost Wind at that point. So the only fact is I can't bring this back. And so I didn't play 3 infinite impermanence because after turn 1, I'm going to have to set it anyway. And so we play 2 and 2. I do run 1 Drowning Mirror Force. I like Drowning Mirror Force in this deck because as you play the deck, a skilled player, you'll be able to let your opponent play right into that Drowning Mirror Force. We do run a trap trick in here, so I'm able to thin out some of my other traps, and after I've used them up, if the opponent's grinding with me, I'm able to let them play right into this Drowning Mirror Force and reset their board and then pop off following that. And so I like the Drowning Mirror Force in the deck. I do play 2 Torrentials. It's pretty much the same as the Drowning Mirror Force. Instead of playing the spell cards, I do play the Torrential Tribute, and that's my board wipes for the deck. So and being able to wipe your opponent's board is always a good thing. You let them set it off, they'll go and summon, and then you catch them. So I run 3 Solemn Strikes in this deck, as well as 2 Solemn Judgments. That is easily reversible. I leave that up to the player preference. You can just as easily run 3 Solemn Judgments and 2 Solemn Strikes. I like it that way simply because I like to be able to negate effects. I know that right now there's a lot of back row, especially with Harpy's Feather Duster being just let up off the ban list. That's why I say it's up to personal preference. But if you're skillful, you don't play into the Harpy's Feather Duster, especially if you don't have the Solemn J on board. So you have to be a little skillful when it comes to that anyways, as this is a trap deck, and so you don't set your life and not have the proper protection. But you have the strikes to be able to stop that effect, those effects that come up, and you pay some life points. That's it for our Solemn Brigade. Next up, we run 3 Compulse. I like Compulsory because it's chainable. Compulsory takes a monster off the board, and if you try to pop it, I can chain it. You activate Compulse, chain Paleo, right? Last but not least, we run the 1 copy of Trap Trick. I like my 1 copy of Trap Trick just in case I need to out something that I don't currently have an out to on the board. And so Trap Trick allows me to be able to just grab that trap that I need out of the deck. If I see my opponent's going too hard or about to do like a needle fiber, wumbo, mumbo, jumbo, they go into Link Cross. I go Trap Trick, get out my Dimensional Barrier and Dimensional Barrier, and that's the end of their turn. So once that Link Cross hits board and they got a bunch of tokens on the board, those tokens can't be used for linking, so let's do it. That is the main deck. Currently I have a 13 card extra deck. I think the other 2 card spaces is basically up for personal taste. If I had to change some things, I would probably say the other couple of cards could be a nightmare package that you can put in the deck. But we're going to start things off with the Link monsters. Because we are running our scapegoats, we run a Mistis Radiant as well as 2 Link Spiders. And so we're running the Mistis Radiant and the Link Spiders in the deck for the scapegoat tokens, and then to be able to link up with them. We run Appaloosa, Boy of the Goddess. The reason we're running Appaloosa in the deck is because it's extra negation for us. You're already playing Totally Awesome, and then you put another Appaloosa on board. It really makes it hard for your opponent to out that kind of a board. And so we play Appaloosa. We run 2 Miss Star Boys so that we can give our Totally Awesome some extra boost. And that's it currently for the Link monsters. Like I said, you're always welcome to throw in that Nightmare package. I do think that they are really good as well to go in the deck. IP Masquerena as well as IP Masquerena as well as Unicorn would probably be my other 2 links if I had to add the other 2 in, but I'm leaving that up to personal preference. And so on to the Exceeds. Starting off, we have our 2 Toadally Awesomes. Now that it's at 2, it gives a little bit more power to the deck. Totally Awesome has the effect that he can recycle himself. So it's with 2 of them, it's just like you have the 3. You can always bring it back. Since you have 2, you don't necessarily have to bring the first one back. You can bring back a Swap Frog or one of your other water monsters, aqua monsters. So Toad is Toad, right? You get the negate, and you get to bring out your whole frog engine basically off of Totally Awesome. So it's a really good card. It's the deck. Toad is the deck. And so we definitely glad to have it back at 2. I do run 2 Paleozoic Alpabania just to search out my traps and to be able to activate my traps from hand. Card is still really good. You don't have your 3rd Totally Awesome, so why not run an extra Opabania? As a personal tech, I run 1 Gotchi Gotchi just to pump up my my Toads. I like Gotchi Gotchi in the deck because it adds that extra bit of attack boost, and so I play the Gotchi Gotchi. And then last but not least, I run 1 Paleozoic Anomalocaris. Anomalocaris is the Paleozoic boss monster that allows you to pop cards and basically build your board, right, and break through your opponent's board. So I am again running 13 cards in my extra deck. This is pretty much it. This is my extra deck board right now. If I had to include 2 extra cards right now, it'll probably be, like I said, Unicorn as well as IP Masquerena, just to have that extra bit of interruption on my opponent's turn. But that's again up for, you know, personal taste. You could just as easily put Borreload in the Link 4, or you can put in Boral Sword. Any of those, all of those cards work just as well. So let me know what you guys think. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. All right, I'll see you guys later. Holla.